Okay, we are here for the review slash discussion of episode 82, episode 23 of final season, episode 7 of final season part 2. I think I got one of those wrong, I'm not sure, but yeah, really some really interesting points. This was a more interesting story. This was more, I wouldn't say the others weren't plot focused, but like just more plot focused, like a little bit of breather compared to the previous few episodes that were like going 1,000 miles an hour, right? Absolutely insane. And last episode was like one of my favorites, like OST and action wise. It felt like season one Attack on Titan, so there was some nostalgia there. But this one is a bit more, I guess, plot focused, and yeah, the aftermath. Like I said, there's a few interesting points like they brought up, especially I think what Armin said. Like there's a bunch of people out there now, obviously agreeing with Eren, right, and saying this is the only way. Where I always say there's always another way, but if you think far enough, let's get this one out of the way. If you think far enough, imagine he goes through, like at this point it seems they can't stop it. I mean, how do you stop it at this point? Not like they're gonna stop. They should stop trying, but he exterminates everyone outside, and there's just an island inside. Do you think really that's gonna cause peace? Because now you saw this episode, along with the rumbling, a bunch of Eren's own people, Aldeans, and people living on the island were caught in it, getting killed, so they are not going to agree with him. The people all related to them are not going to agree with him. The people with better morals and values, in my opinion, is not going to agree with him. So it's going to create that divide. You have this group of people that doesn't agree with Eren's plan, which to me is technically, I wouldn't, like at this point, like I always say, there's no good side, but let's say on the civilian side, the innocent civilian side, better morals and values, absolutely terrible plan, genocide, killing a bunch of innocent people in the process. Bunch, by I mean like millions. It's literally genocide. It's not taking out all your enemies. It's taking out all your enemies along with people who have nothing to do with it. And then the other side, which is these damn Jaegerists led by this idiot flock, which is pissing me off to no end. And well, for the time being led by flock, right? While Eren is out on his march, but it's going to create this divide, and there is going to be a civil war on this island. And this side is going to have some titans, some of the 9 titans. That side is going to have Eren and his founding titan. I don't know if it's going to have some who else, other founding titans, but it's going to spark another war for the 9, or whatever you want to call it. People going against Eren, and these people not going, the people that's not going to obey and stuff, and just go according to them. And then obviously the Jaegers on the other side, and that's going to cause more bloodshed. Numbers are going to dwindle even further, and there's going to be even less people left, and they can have this war on this small island. And yeah, and there's some people who say, oh, it's going to be all over once this plan is finished and he's extinguished everyone. No, it's not. Like I said, that would never have solved it, because there is going to be conflict now, like we're seeing now on the island. There isn't going to be peace. So let's just get that out of the way. This flock, like I went on some rants on my reactions with part 1 of final season. I need to stop myself with this flock situation, because how he was behaving himself this episode, and he thinks he's this high and mighty, whatnot. Whether he's even telling the truth that Eren told him this plan or not, it doesn't even matter. Like he thinks he has this authority and whatnot, and what he's doing is right. And dude, like I said in part 1 season 1, that hasn't changed. Like at one stage of the season, I maybe thought like, oh, Eren, damn, he didn't want to change Titans. He doesn't want to do euthanization. He went against him when they were in the when they were by the coordinate or the pass. I was like, okay, Eren, maybe, well, he's not forgivable what he did in part 1, but I'm like, okay, maybe he's not gonna go with this, and rumbling is just gonna crush the people who want to take out Aldeans and the alliance that side, the military. And then he goes all proper antagonist again, and he's been the one technically behind it, manipulating Grisha by using the attack titan powers, seeing the future. He saw his future through Grisha's memories and all that jazz. And yeah, I'm definitely still not 100%. I'm definitely not on Eren's side. That has not changed, even though there was a slight moment at the start of the season where I was like, oh wait, okay. Even though I still wouldn't have forgiven him for what he did, but anyway. Yeah, so I'm technically want to say still, like I said last time, neutral, but I think Armin and them, or at least Armin, Mikasa, and Jean, and a bunch of people with him, obviously they want to stop this, and I think they're the best option at this point. But still, what they did in Liberia as well, all that stuff. See, it's really difficult. Everyone has their own, like they said last time, their own devil inside them, right? Of what they did. But yeah, and then Connie as well at the end of the episode. Terrible. And as we can see it, right? Again, Hitch is cleaning up as well. I forgot a name at the start. Like, literal, Aaron's own people getting caught up and killed. Along with all of this. And here we go. This is where it starts, right? I doubt they intended to hurt us. Yeah. Aaron knew they're gonna crush everything in their path. Because it's not that... It's like, see, if he did that plan, we're just going to crush the lines. Out the wall, like Armin said, would have been enough. They would have went on a march. No one inside would have gotten hit. He brought out all 3 walls, major walls. I think that, yeah, Arya, Cena, and Rose, right? And obviously the outer one, the inner ones marching on is crushing everything in their way as well, meaning more innocent civilians and Aaron's own people and stuff like that. Doubt they intended to hurt us. He knew. Anyone with common sense knows that the inner ones marching in was just going to crush everything in the way. They can't think for themselves. So that's already a bullshit statement right there. Terrifying Jim. Yeah, and then these all divide because of Eren Yeager, my house. Yeah. And then people, small sacrifice to pay. Like treating innocent lives like it's nothing, right? How dare you, exactly. Son was killed, war falling killed lots of people. Exactly. Minor sacrifice. These are his own people that he's trying to protect from the outside world, right? And it is Eren who killed them, as simple as that. And he knew it was going to happen. And they are fine with it, obviously. Eren worked on the Titans would come to slaughter us all. Yeah, but like I said, there are better ways to go about it. So just because that is going to happen now, genocide is fine, right? Just so we can survive, even though there's millions of innocents out there as well that has nothing to do with it and didn't ask for it, right? But it only benefits us, that's fine. So, here's ours. Yep, and there's the divide. Yeah, Shinzo, Sasage, here we go. And don't dare use those fucking words. People are gonna clash, exactly. And then, I thought for a moment, maybe this... I forgot about Annie. I remember the last episode it happened, but I thought for a moment this might be like... I don't know how far away they were from the walls inside here, but this might be like... Anji dragging Levi. But I guess it wasn't blood. It's just the liquid from after the hardening came undone or whatever, right? She was covered in liquid. But yeah, Annie hurt herself here. But she's so weak, obviously after 4 years in like stasis or whatever. It doesn't look like she's aged at all while she was in that stasis, because it looks like Hitch is taller than her now. Can't remember what the sizes were before. And she's so weak, Hitch can just overpower her. Annie of all people, right? Yeah, she was using the bluff of... I guess it was blood as well. She probably got cut as well once she got released, but... Yeah, using that obviously as her trump card. She can transform at any moment. Even though it doesn't look like she has the power to do it. Or the energy. Gamble. So she's technically gonna have to listen to her. So... Skipping town, like, yeah. Where is she get like... Brings up my question again. Where is she going to go? But yeah, and her mind is just like, yeah... Just come back, return home. That's what that father of hers said. So I don't think there's too much to go over here. Except on his like story. And so she was technically conscious the whole time because she overheard Armin and Hitch's conversation. It was mostly dark, but she could hear Armin and Hitch when they were close by. But when they weren't, they were just pure darkness. And then she just woke up. And heard Eren's voice. Yeah, while the hardening came undone and then Eren spoke to everyone, so obviously she was there too. Yeah, look beneath their feet. All the bodies. Yeah, Eren, this is what you want to create, right? I don't know. Yeah. That's my opinion. I can't agree with it. Morally, it's just, I can't. Terrible plan. Just like Grisha said. And he even asked, is this the only way? Probably not the only way. I've said this from the start, when in the part 1 of final season, when it was as kids, Rainer, Bertolt, Annie, and them trying invade the walls when Marcel got eaten and stuff like that, and Rainer just rashly on the spot technically say, we're going to do this, came up with that plan, and they went and broke the walls down, killed all those innocent people. That's where all that shit started, when where I said they could have snuck in somehow, some way, who knows, and try and see inside the walls what's going on, but let's cause a ruckus and just appear as Titans and just kill a bunch of people. So there's that too. So only outside their lands were taught to kill soldiers and civilians alike. They were praised for it. Something we were praised for. Just see how that brainwashing works, how they just told him that's okay when it's not. Since we were atoning for Aldea's sins. Once again, people got born into this world technically, and before they started all of this, I mean them now, before they started as soldiers and killing people and stuff like that, born into this world, and they have to atone for Aldea's sins, even though they have nothing to do with it. What I mean is, like, they're born into this world innocent. They didn't do anything wrong. It was the people back then, but yeah. Anything we did was justified. Trying to stop rumbling, all that stuff. Where in hindsight, right, technically if Marley didn't do anything, according to me, I think, because the people inside Paradis Island, according to me, was just living their lives, right? They weren't threatening anyone. They threatened anyone if you try and come, do anything to us, then we're gonna use the rumbling and stuff like that. But they were living in peace, not doing anything to anyone, even though they said they wanted to stop this that's happening right now. But who said they just would have done that without being provoked, right? We'll see how this started now that the hatred started for the Titans and stuff like that. Eren's Avenger Eren was created with Rainer and them doing that attack, breaking the walls and all that stuff. There's where his hatred started, all that stuff, where who knows if it would have gone differently. I know Grisha was still on that mission to try and get the Founding Titan and all that stuff, right? But who knows how it would have played out. But yeah, technically it could have gone that way, where if they just stayed on the islands, I know Grisha had his plan, but you saw if Eren did not manipulate Grisha, he wasn't about to take the Founding Titan. He said he couldn't do it. Eren's the one that goaded him into it. So I'm thinking, this is just an opinion, I'm thinking if they just stayed on the island, lived their lives, and Marley didn't come and did that shit, Rainer and them, then sure they would have been still confined inside the walls. There's that problem, right? But no one would have attacked anyone. Well, especially the island would have sent rumbling just for no reason and whatnot. So why did Marley need those Titan stuff back? To stop this from happening, but there was no imminent threat. They were just living in peace. But there's lots of ways you can look at it, but we are using up a bunch of time. But there is a small price to pay, yeah. Of course it is. That's how they thought. So she was abandoned and got taken in by him. He wanted a better life, so he trained her to be a warrior. And it was really harsh on her. And he got some of his medicine back. But he was still happy about it. And then at the end, he had a change of heart. Yeah. At that point, she didn't care if people lived or died. Any life had value, including my own. Until he had a change of heart, and he seemed like he really cared and he wanted it to come back. And he's sorry for what he did. So that's cool and all, but it doesn't take away what he did. But I guess he meant it. He had tears in his eyes. And that obviously meant something to Annie. As we saw how she was trying to escape in season 1, right? Well, now absolutely unforgivable. At least she's admitting it. All the things she's done is absolutely unforgivable. All the stuff as a female Titan. Before that, all that stuff. Soul, warrior, make it back. All you find is rubble and a corpse. Exactly. So, to me, yes, people's in a panic. They're just thinking about running away, trying to go off the island and stuff like that. But you need to think about this logically. These people that are against this plan, that includes Magath and Peak and whatever not. Zeke is like a middle factor. There's still Zeke, is Yelena and Zeke for that. I don't know who else is with. But who knows, Zeke is gone for now. I don't know if he he got probably caught up in the explosion of the transforming. So I don't know if he's still fine or not, but everyone, like, along with Armin, Jean, John, and Mikasa, and then Margaret and Peak, Raina, I guess, and Gabi and Falco and them need to come together, and then probably Annie included, because I think there's them as a group technically can have the same goal in mind, right? For now, set aside your differences, or hopefully once and for all, try and stop this terrible plan, because everyone can agree that this plan is horrible, right? It's inhumane. So they're gonna need to work together. So Annie leaving now is logically, what is it going to do if you're just gonna arrive there and they're gonna destroy everything? Everyone's gonna have to work together at the moment, apart from the damn Jaegerists. Everyone's gonna have to try and group up and overcome the Jaegerists and then try and stop Eren somehow, but there's still Flock Idiot in charge there. Bogus threat, yeah. Bogus threat. They just said it right there. Bring peace to Paradis Island for 100 years. Just try and keep everyone away, live in peace inside the walls. It's literally, it's a bogus threat. And saw the dream, and obviously now all the Aldeans in Mali, obviously grouping up, they all saw this dream, but the Malians that's keeping them in their concentration camps, or whatever you want to call it, obviously not going to believe them and think they're coming up with this bullshit plan so they can try and escape, even though there's nowhere to go. But like I said, obviously you're going to try and get away still, you know, run for your life. So I don't know if Anya's father got shot here at the end now. Anyway, I heard a gunshot, but then they also had a gunshot back to that side. So if Anya goes there now and even gets it before the Titans, who knows if the dad's still alive. Yeah, and then here we go with this problem again. Now we had Mali invading, all that stuff, nonsense, this nonsense, and then now we have the Jaegerists still with their little group, like, oh, Eren, and now I guess Armin and all of them are outnumbered. That's why I said they have to get this group together and overcome the Jaegerists and try and stop Eren's plan. They find he knows what to do. So just telling everyone to get in line and try and don't disobey. But then, like I said, yeah, obviously people are going to stand up. They're not going to disobey. And like I said, there is going to be that divide, the Jaegerists and the other people. So there's not going to be peace on the island after all is done. The problem not solved. And probably another war is going to break out, because Armin and them have a bunch of Titans, along with Falco, Raina, Peak, and whatnot. Who else is there? Only if she's on their side, and it's just going to be a war again. You see what I mean? It's just going to start a war again. Because I know Eren has a founding Titan, but how are they going to stop that? But then you have these troops, Jaegerists against the Titans, and who knows if there's going to be more Titans on Eren's side, and, well, lots of peer Titans, I guess. Well, most of them got sorted out now. I don't know how many more there's outside. They said they took everyone out, but I guess they just left. Somehow, Connie got to agreement with them that they somehow left Connie's mom, because they said they took out all the Titans, right? At the start of final season. I don't know, it's free now, but they obviously left Connie's mother. He probably convinced them to leave his mother. I can't remember if they mentioned that somewhere, but obviously that is what happened. Well, obviously we know she's there because he's trying to go change her back, and Armin's going to try and stop Connie, which, yeah, someone really needs to stop him. He's going to have the time to give up on his mother, because it's sort of selfish. Like, then you can understand from Connie's perspective, or Enyo's perspective, they want to save their family or mother or whatever, right? But now he's willing to sacrifice this kid who's, I don't want to say completely innocent, somewhat innocent, or at least purer than most of them, and have, in my eyes, has decent morals and values, right? Well, the glimpses that we saw, and yeah, now he's going to sacrifice him to his mother. I don't think he's going to hesitate, and especially how he went on there at the end. But yeah, then imagine, like, see, what is the point going to do now? He feeds it to his mother. She's not technically, yes, she's going to be fine, but they're going to need all the help they can get to stop Eren. She's technically never handled the Titan before. She's no warrior, no trained, stuff like that. So there's that too, and that might seem not decent to look at it that way, but you know, no. But the most important thing for me is he's just gonna take this random kid and sacrifice it just to bring his mother back. Just it almost feels just for the sake of it. But yes, it's your family and stuff like that. But the bigger picture here is not going to help anyone technically, and yeah, and then at the same time they are going to lose Gabby's trust, because then Connie fed Falco to his mother, and then they're probably going to lose that trust they can gain from Gabby, and then along with Peak and Reiner and whatnot and Magath, for them to. Because I'm telling you now, that whole bunch is going to work together. Annie included, Reiner, Peak, Magath, Falco, Gabby, whatever those Malian soldiers are left to try and stop this plan, along with Armin and them, set the differences aside. Yeah, she's key. Any chance at keeping Reiner and the cart in line depends on her. Well, they say in line, but they can work together and help each other out. See, this is exactly what I said. The problem is inheriting the 9 titans hasn't gone away. You rather repeat another 12,000 years of war over titans and the powers. That's exactly what he said here. Like how I said, there's just going to be another war on the island. Like, this is not going to solve the problem what everyone's trying to do outside. Because this is going to happen. We might repeat another 2,000 years of war over titans and the powers. Exactly. Exactly as he says here. He makes a damn good point. On this tiny island. Because not everyone, we saw, everyone's not going to agree with Eren. It's going to be split. And this group, Armin, Connie, I don't even mention Connie at the moment, but Armin, Mikasa, Jean, and all of them are not going to obviously agree with Eren's plan, including Gabby, Falco, Reiner, all those people, right? They're probably not going to get off the island. Everyone's going to be on the island because there's nothing left outside, and then there's going to be war here. I said this at the start, but yeah, he's obviously got to try. Like, Armin's almost at a loss here. He's going to have to tell Connie she's going to have to stay like that. For the greater good, unfortunately. I know it sounds terrible, but what Connie's trying to do is just as terrible. Just taking this random kid, and then people can argue he's from Mali, but Falco is to me like a bit different. But that doesn't matter. Armin doesn't have the answers. Now he's starting to think even though Story might be in danger, all those people, was it the right call to bring him back? I think they should have brought Erwin back. That's not going to help anything. You need to stay positive and try to figure out. Figure out how to do this. And the scarf is gone. I don't know who took it. If it was Eren or probably not. I don't know. Yeah, and I'm pretty sure. I think Connie will hesitate, especially the way Falk was treating him at the end and saying he's a good person and whatnot, right? And obviously Gabi's going along. It looks like she and Kaya has worked this stuff out. Kaya, yeah. So yeah, they've technically sorted their differences. And then yeah, I don't even want to go over this because Flock just made my blood boil. Flock is pissing me off to no end, and his little group of Jaegerists that he's now this high and mighty person in charge while Eren is going off to do his thing. Doesn't matter if Eren told him his plan, all that stuff, or he's just saying that, but thinks he has this great authority and he's doing right. Going as far as to injure them. Yeah, who elected you to act as king as his plan? Yeah. 10 months ago, Eren told his plan. Who cares? His plan is fulfilled. Yeah. He's so proud of this great plan causing genocide. Stupid. And now he's obviously trying to. Yeah, he didn't want to give up, but he's trying to obviously now, demoralize them and whatnot, and trying to get them to join them, and will aid our Elden Empire speak up. And then obviously he wasn't going to do it, and he just kills him on the spot. So unnecessary. Idiotic. And then it seems like he technically broke Jean as well. And telling him nonsense about going back to the way he was back in the day, wanted to join the military police and stuff like that. This nonsense. Freedom. And this is the funniest part. They call what after all this Eren's plan is done on this island, is going to be freedom. Yeah, it's going to be the exact opposite. It's not going to be freedom. Like I said, there is going to be that war that's going to break out. Because there's going to be this, like I've said it how many times now, there's going to be this group that agrees with it and the other group that doesn't agree. There's not going to be freedom. Freedom for, the Jaegerists. Because at that point, it's not going to just be Aldeans. It's going to be split into people who's against Eren and then the Jaegerists. Because they're all going to be Aldeans. Yeah, it's getting to John. By the end, they knew, even though he saw 100 of them escape, he's assuming they did, but Anyway, well, that's even to demoralize him even more. They can really use Levi, but the injuries that he's got, I think with the amount of episodes we've got left, I doubt he's going to be ready for action. Because he's, you know, don't want to say normal. He's not, he's an Ackerman, but, you know, no Titan healing abilities, none of that nonsense. So he's got probably broken bones, all that shit, but and then, I don't know. But yeah, he's pretty much out for the count. Yeah, Connie's just technically lying to him. Connie's telling him he's helping him out, where it's taking him to feed him to his mother. He even said that he's a good person. Hopefully that's going to make him hesitate. The Falco's still a little bit suspicious as well. It's what he's seen in some point. He lost some of his memories after changing. So yeah, we had Peak and Magath. They're not going to give up, yada yada. Like I said, they all have to join forces to stop Eren. Almost ate Hanji. That's terrifying. But Hanji is there. And there's Levi, alive. Refuses to die. Like I said, he's technically alive because when Hanji went in close, she probably heard his heartbeat, right? And I said it could be like he's dead, and they don't want them to defile his body with like more holes and stuff like that. But I'm pretty sure she heard his heartbeat and was like, okay, and tried to escape with him, took the opportunity. So at least he's alive. But yeah, that will be that. But extensive again. There's a bunch to go over, but yeah, lots of opinions this time. But anyway, I gave the episode 8.5, really good. But if you guys did enjoy that, first of all, if you at this video and you haven't seen the reaction yet, there'll be a link to the there'll be a link to the reaction in the description down below where you can go check that out. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed the discussion / review of episode 82, Sunset, leave a like, subscribe. I would greatly appreciate that. And I will see you guys in the next Attack on Titan.